Another city in China, another bike video. As you can tell from this city's giant phallic symbol, I am in Guangzhou. This city used to be known as Canton in English. I think every major city now has to have a phallic symbol to brag about, and everybody's trying to get the biggest one. This one's pretty big, but I think the one in Tokyo is bigger. Doing the mobike thing again. Again, this is a great program. I can go to Shanghai, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, pretty much any major city, and use my same account, the same app to rent one of these bikes. Just hop on and go. Always seems to be some waiting outside the subways as soon as I get off. So there's a lot of interesting news this week. First thing of note to, I think many of us foreigners, was that VPNs have been officially made illegal, and the wording in it, it sounds like they are targeting the specific individual VPNs. So this is very troubling, I think, for many foreigners. My VPN is still working fine, but usually the way these things go is it will make an announcement, which is kind of like a warning, and then a month later start taking action. And so this is effectively like taking the internet away from foreigners. The VPN is a virtual private network. This is the only way we have to access sites like YouTube and Facebook and Google services. So it's a little disconcerting. We'll find out soon enough if it's just talk or if they plan to be strict about it. It's been pretty obvious to me that the government has the ability to completely shut down VPNs if it wants. Usually during times like this, Chinese New Year is about to start, they will start shutting down the pipes for the VPNs, and your VPN will be pretty much unusable unless you pay for extra service like a stealth mode. So we'll see what happens. But if that's the case, if they do target individual VPNs, there's going to be a lot of foreigners leaving. I can guarantee that. It doesn't affect Chinese people because none of them use VPNs. As a couple of times I've put my videos on just YouTube only, requiring VPN to use, and nobody watches them. 40 to 50 people will watch them if I put them on Yoku. I put them on YouTube where you need a VPN. Literally nobody's watching them, so they're not using VPNs. I know a couple of people here that do use VPNs, and I know a lot more that say they do but actually don't. So, the only way I could describe it, what this means to my Chinese friends out there is, what if the government said to you, you can't use the internet anymore? That's kind of what it's like. This is probably the number one complaint of foreigners living in China, is the internet is so awful to use here for us. So we'll see what happens. If they do decide to attack the VPNs and they make this announcement just before Chinese New Year, a time in which I know they're going to shut them down anyway, well, it's going to be a difficult time, to say the least. I think I want to go over this bridge. Also in the news, the APA hotels in Japan were putting books in the rooms, basically denying the Nanjing massacre ever happened, which is, of course, utterly ridiculous. There are plenty of photos and videos, and the owner of APA hotels, in that there's a mayor also in Japan that is denying it. I think he's in Nagasaki. Hope I'm not wrong about that. Well, they should come to visit Nanjing sometime, because you can still see all the bullet holes in the walls of the city from the Japanese invasion. So this is it's kind of disturbing. There are people out there still trying to deny these things happened. But it's also a little disturbing, some of the reaction that you see when these things happen. No, I was just in Japan, and I'm glad I didn't stay at an APA hotel, and I can tell you I wouldn't stay in one in the future, based on the beliefs of the guy that owns it, or that CEO, or whatever position he is. But it's also a little disturbing. Some of the reaction in China gets a little too much too. They want to ban everything and ban Japanese travel and don't visit Japan or don't buy anything Japanese. Well, there's plenty of Japanese people that are pissed off about these things too. So to completely boycott Japan is also an extremist reaction. These are extremist statements, observations, but sometimes the reaction is also pretty extremist. So I hope none of my friends are reacting that badly. I mean, I understand boycotting APA, absolutely. I'll boycott APA, but to boycott everything Japan, everything Japanese, this is a little ridiculous. There are lots of Japanese people that are pissed off about these things too. Well, in my Hong Kong video, I was rather complimentary about many things Hong Kong, and I happen to know it annoyed or bothered a couple of people that I know, and so I just want to take the time now to apologize to absolutely no one because Hong Kong was awesome. It's amazing. This city, this is Guangzhou I'm in. Again, like I said earlier, this used to be known as Canton. And so the people here are Cantonese people. The people in Hong Kong are also Cantonese people. And it's amazing to see how different these two cultures are. Here in Guangzhou, and apologies to Guangzhouren that I know, because this is just my honest observations. The level of common courtesy, empathy, worrying about others here is really friggin' low. I've experienced a lot of line cutting, a lot of pushing, shoving, a lot of ignoring of personal space of others here. It's completely opposite of what I experienced in Hong Kong, where Hong Kong was kind of like Japan. Actually, I think it was better than Japan, because in Japan, they tended to overreact if you bumped into somebody. Whereas in Hong Kong, it was a normal, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe it's just because Hong Kong's been so westernized, that's what I'm used to. But yeah, it's just amazing to see that there's such a difference. That the Cantonese people, both in Hong Kong and here in Guangzhou, this is the same origin, Canton, Guangzhou. But yet the cultures and the behaviors are completely different. This area of Guangzhou I'm in now is actually very nice. Don't mind this construction. I didn't find a very good road to be on. But this is also a very biking unfriendly city. This downtown area isn't too bad. There are some bike paths set up, and the scenery is quite good. But overall, pretty biking unfriendly city. And this downtown area around the tower there's a lot of shopping and restaurants, and it's all fairly new and clean. But once you start getting a little further out, I found this to be a pretty chaotic and dirty city. Noisy. So I didn't really plan to come here as like, oh, I want to go visit Guangzhou. But there was a really good flight deal here, a direct flight to where I'm going next. And I thought, oh, sure, I'd like to spend a day in Guangzhou then if I'm going to fly out of there. So I made time to spend at least a day or two here, and that's okay. And one of my friends on Weixin said that they were coming here later in the month, and I was just legitimately just curious as to why. Not like why would you visit Guangzhou, but you know, why are you coming here? Do people come here to visit? Because this has not been my impression. It's not like a very popular tourist destination. Well, I'm not sure if I'll keep doing these videos or not. If you want me to keep doing them, leave a comment. Say, you know, just something simple. Let me know that you're watching, and please keep doing them, because, you know, even though I do this primarily for myself, after a while, it's like anything. It loses its appeal. I used to enjoy just videos like this, people's just first-person perspective and their thoughts about whatever is in the news or whatever is in the city they are in. And so I thought, well, why not make some of these types of videos? Just some quick bonus video of how awesome this bike program is. So here's the tower again. This is the subway exit. So right when you come out of the subway, you will see you have a ton of these bikes that you can pick up and rent and get to where you need to go. So it's a really great system. Too bad the bikes are kind of shitty. So I decided to go to the top of the Canton Tower, the Guangzhou Tower. So I thought, well, I might not have another chance. And it'll be interesting to see the city from so high, get a better feel for it. The first thing you'll notice that's different from the view here than in Tokyo is you can't see very far because of all the pollution. Pollution is so bad. Also, the buildings here are a lot taller than Tokyo. Tokyo was very big, very spread out, but the buildings weren't that tall. Here, there are a lot of very tall buildings. But I don't know why. Here it takes forever to get anywhere on the subways, but in Tokyo you could get anywhere quickly. The subways were very fast in Tokyo. So let's just walk around, check out the different views. Here's a good view of that stadium I was talking about, and the public square area right there in front. That area gets very crowded at night. There's laser show, music, people dancing, walking, playing. It's a really nice area. It looks like it goes all the way down to the end. There's like looks like a football field maybe. Maybe that's where the Guangzhou soccer team plays, I guess. So this area of Guangzhou is very interesting, but the other areas not so much. People wanting to get their photos taken on top of the glass floor. So that's pretty much it. And again, I'll have to check to see, is this a bad pollution day or not? Let me check right now. How bad is the pollution today? Although I don't trust these apps anymore. The government has been falsifying the pollution information. Okay, Guangzhou. 21 degrees Celsius, 24 degrees Celsius. It says 62 is the pollution index, which would be a fairly low pollution day. This looks more like about 300 to me, so I don't trust my Chinese weather app at all for pollution. This looks terrible.